Good day. We welcome you in the Media Center Ukraine of Ukrinform. My name is Alina Frolova, and now we have the 162nd day of the war. The situation in the front line is still tense. One of the key spheres is the direction is southern direction. So as of now, our briefing will be devoted to the situation in Odesa city and Oblast, the region. We are in touch with Serhiy Bratchuk, spokesperson for the Odesa Oblast military administration. Serhiy, do you hear us? Yes, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Could you please tell how the previous day took place and what is happening in the city and in the region? After that, we'll pose some questions for you. So, as of the operational situation, both in the city and in the region, as we've already mentioned, and in other regions of our state, we had the air raid siren during the night. As we got to know a bit later, and it was mentioned by our operational command South mentioned, from the territory of temporarily occupied Crimea, the missile Onyx was launched. But as we say in Odessa region, it was self-liquidated on above the sea surface without getting to the land. As for the missile strikes, their probability is still rather high because the front line is still getting through the sea, and in the Black Sea, in the part of the southern western part, there are two missile bearers. These are the tactical level caliber missiles, and three more types of the assault ships of the Black Sea Fleet Navy of the Russian Federation, which is closer to Novorossiysk. The number of ships is definitely either increasing or decreasing all the time. They are from 10 to 15, sometimes up to 17 ships. The same situation is in the Azov Sea. Azov is the southern direction. As of the activities of the region and the city, the defense forces are accomplishing military missions. We have some of the military training. As for the military units and the defense, our guys and servicemen are training to improve their activities. Moreover, the southern direction is so important now on the map of the battlefield of the action of Ukraine against Russia. And our daily activity, as it used to be before, is done for the strengthening and recovery of economy, because the economics of the region was really affected. But still we are working, everything is under control. We are provided with food and medicine, with social packages of guarantees in Odessa region and in Odessa city in particular can be there. We're also working and providing help to Mykolaiv with drinking water, with humanitarian relief, and we can also have lots of humanitarian aid going through Odessa region. So we also are playing a very important function of a humanitarian hub, which is working not only for our region but for other regions of our state of Ukraine. By the way, as far as we heard, Odessa had officially almost 93,000 of IDPs registered, but maybe there are people who have not been registered. How do you assess the number of the IDPs in Odessa, and how many people left Odessa region to the maybe safer areas? As of our residents, the Odessa residents and the region residents, for more than a month, people are coming back already. They are again working and trying to perform the functions which provided their living and also the economy to be working, because now it is done for the military and people are doing that as well. As of the forced IDPs, it is very difficult to assess the number of the people who have never been registered, but I will be sincere. The people who are planning to live abroad, they already do that. But as of the people who are registered, and this is the right thing to do, they get social payments and help. They get a place for accommodation. They also are sent to all the territorial hromadas, that is communities of our regions, to the northern, the southern, the central territorial communities are receiving those people. And again, I will repeat, those people are provided, and we are trying, this is one of the key points, to provide the people with work as much as possible. Of course, it may not be as it used to be before the temporary occupation of some areas, but still, the most important thing that people are functioning, they are working, and they have some social packages provided and social guarantees. And yesterday your administration announced that it will provide help to the IDPs with the repairment and maintenance works of the accommodation in Odesa region. Could you tell any more details which objects will be repaired? When can people expect for the implementation of this program, and how much of this accommodation is expected as help? Yes, this meeting of the head of military administration Maxim Marchenko took place with the representatives of international organizations, and today the practical implementation, stage-by-stage implementation and description of the proposals given has begun, and I think that gradually the more detailed plan, the kind of a roadmap, will take place. Everybody will work on that, it's obvious. Well, of course, the current situation in Odesa Oblast is under control, though we can see that this planned work, as far as we can speak about plans during the martial law, during the war, we have a bit of again, informational injects or fakes, which try to introduce some of the informational fake griefs into our activity. In Russia, they say that we have long queues for bread because there is hunger here. Of course, I'm smiling to that because we've got everything in Odesa. Odesa really has everything. Our market, Privoz, is working as well. So Odesa is just responding in this way. So as for the food provision, I already mentioned we have full provision of food, and those fakes with long queues to get bread are connected with the informational fake propaganda which is done within the grain humanitarian corridor. You know that the first corridor has already been checked, and Turkey, the UN, and Ukraine are conducting those checks. It went through the Bosphorus, and now it's going to Tripoli in Lebanon, and also through the Dardanelles. The next ship is coming under the flag of Liberia, but it's a Turkish ship, and it will go to Odessa port, the port of Odessa Chornomorsk. This is the first ship which is going to us after the 24th of February. This ship is a huge one, and it's also coming for Ukrainian grains which should be exported. So again, those informational fakes are connected with the implementation of this project. The aim is to disseminate panicky moods among the population, but in spite of the harvesting of the grains, which of course will be lower than the previous year, which was peaceful, still we are fully provided with the grains in all of the regions of our state, and we are being reported that we'll have the grain of the new harvest for exports. Yes, really, Odesa has become a kind of hub which should use some of the export grains to be sent. But we saw that after the 24 hours after this deal, Russia shelled the port of Odesa. So can it function in under normal conditions? And secondly, in Mykolaiv region there was the whole campaign to find out the correction of fire. So do you conduct the same work in Odesa? Moreover, that Odesa is also under attention now. The whole world is looking in Odesa with higher interest now. Well, as of the work of our port, then we always emphasize that we have the war now. We understand, we feel it, so we are all soldiers now. We are getting military missions and we accomplish them. As the implementation of the grain project showed, Ukraine, with our common efforts, was the first to perform the theoretical and practical and technical preparation to implement this plan. So we are working and we are ready to work. We are ready to accomplish all of the missions and tasks which emerge. So the ports are ready to work to their max. People are really missing the jobs. So this is why they are doing that, because they do understand that this corridor is necessary. So it's necessary for our future victory and peace. I do apologize, I got a call, that's why I was muted. So, as of your second question, speaking about the counter-saboteur work, as for fire adjusters and artillery observers, just recently our military administration has suspended and seized the organizer and the head of the agent network, which was working for aggressor country, the Russian Federation, which was observing and adjusting fire against strategic objects, the managing and governance objects and military objects of our region. So this professor, because this is his nickname, the agent's name, Professor, he was taken by the Security Service of Ukraine, and we are really grateful for that. The investigative actions are being done, the operational situation is being started. The counter-sabotage work since the 24th of February is not just done 24/7, but it's done 25/8, because we are constantly finding the collaborants and who are trying to provide some information to the representatives of the aggressor country, and also those who conduct the propaganda in the social networks, disseminating panicky moods and so on. Those people are found out, and we are making people aware of that, because there should be certain investigative actions, and I cannot tell you about all the details instantly. Then the last question from me is coming back to the daily life of the citizens of Ukraine in Odesa region. According to your data, what's the number of businesses and enterprises have restored their work? Maybe in percentage or maybe in taxpayers statistical data. And now also there is the campaign as for the entering into the educational institutions. What are the plans for the autumn? How will the studies in the universities take place? Well, as for the conditions for the studies, everything will depend on the development of the situation, and it was mentioned by the superiors, the political military commanders of our state. Separate regions will take their decisions as for the format of the tuition and studies in each of the communities and regions. This is the principle we are complying with as well. As for the budgets, I cannot tell you the numbers. If it is needed, I will prepare this information and will provide it. But as for the budget allocations, they are being increased. This is the main point, and this is the key point. Of course, it's very hard for the branches which had to suspend their activities. It is hard to restore their work because of the obvious reasons. But there are some of the branches who managed to readjust to the military production, who are working for the military and industrial complex for the armed forces, so they are increasing their capacities. Well, of course, we are mostly focusing our attention on the agrarian sector as well. Our farmers, agrarians, are working as well, and it is so important for us as a second front line. Thank you, and now let's come to the questions from the journalists, if there are any. There are no questions. So, because we got the exhaustive information, thank you. We wish you calm and quiet days and nights. The same to you. See you next time. I do remind you that you're now following the Media Center Ukraine in Ukrinform, and our next briefing will be at 2:30 p.m. Kyiv time about the operational situation at the front line of Russo-Ukrainian war. Stay with us. Thank you.